It's a double blow for the people of Afghanistan. On one hand, the landlocked nation has been dealing with the political rule of the Taliban that has led to increased global isolation, and on the other hand, a prolonged drought. Our next report gets you an insight into the situation on the ground coming in right from Afghanistan. Take a look at this.
In parched brown hills in North Afghanistan, Abdul Ahad tears stalks of wheat out of the arid earth. In the third year of water shortages and high temperatures, his harvest is barely enough to support his family. The 55-year-old farmer from the Nahari Shahi district used to plant 2 or even 3 wheat crops a year. But in the last 3 years, he has only been able to grow 1. The yields from his 9 acres of land are dwindling year after year.
3 years ago, we were able to harvest 300 to 350 tons of wheat in a year. This year, I harvested 3 tons of wheat from all my land. I got 50 sheaves this year. 3 years ago, we could get 1,500 sheaves. There was plenty of water in the river. We had wells, but this year, we don't have much water.
Persistent drought across Afghanistan is taking its toll on farmers and its economy, a third of which is generated by agriculture and food security. Experts say the drought is exacerbated by climate change, which leads to intensifying pressure on water resources. The Global Climate Risk Index says Afghanistan is the world's 6th most affected country by climate-related threats. With little functioning irrigation, Afghanistan now relies on snow melting in the mountains to keep its rivers flowing and fields watered during the summer.
30% GDP is coming from agriculture, and the services also are linked with agriculture, the services that are making the rest of the GDP. Now, slowly, of course, the mining sector is taking some contribution or making some contribution to the Afghanistan economy, but still the gross economy is dependent on agriculture. And if agriculture is impacted, food insecurity is impacted.
2 years after the Taliban took over in Afghanistan as foreign troops withdrew, stretched water resources and the struggles of agriculture are one of their administration's top challenges. With a sharp reduction this year in humanitarian aid and with no foreign government formally recognizing the Taliban, aid workers and diplomats say the level of development assistance to help with the problem is limited. The United Nations World Food Programme says at least 15.3 million people are facing acute food insecurity in the country of nearly 42 million people.
You can see our living conditions. 3 years ago, we were able to eat meat and rice twice a day. But in the past 2 years, we haven't been able to afford meat. We can only rely on bread and fruit. Actually, even bread and fruit have become hard to get now.
The Taliban administration is building an enormous 280-kilometer long canal in the north, which, if successfully completed, could divert water for irrigation throughout northern provinces and improve the situation for farmers. But it is still years away from completion, and the neighboring countries have raised concerns it will divert their water resources.
People here are facing a lot of hardships. Some people have left the village due to lack of water. We will keep planting crops even if there is a water shortage because we don't have any other option.
Bureau Report, WION World is One.